Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. If you're a returning listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, really glad you joined us. Hope you like what you hear. So today's episode, we're going to kind of help you think about your past a little bit differently. I think there's a lot of people out there who think that their past is their identity. And it doesn't need to be that way. It's a story that we tell ourselves that if I tried this and failed at it, that I'm a failure. Not true. You tried something, you got an outcome you didn't like. I made bad decisions before, so I always make bad decisions. Not true. Maybe there was a set of circumstances in your life that were a certain way and things have changed and you are going to make better decisions going forward. Or you've learned from those decisions. You can apply those learnings. The whole point here is that most people are not controlled by their circumstances. They like to feel like they are because it's an easy way to absolve ourselves of responsibility for where we're at. But you're not actually controlled by your circumstances. Most people are controlled by the story that they keep telling themselves in their heads about their past. And so for today's episode, we're going to break that. We're going to help you break that narrative. They're some of the strongest invisible chains that people build for themselves. And this is everybody. This is basic human psychology. It's the identity we build for ourselves rooted in old narratives. So let's just jump into it from there. All right. Point number one here is that your brain is a storyteller. Your brain loves to tell and accept stories. Narrative psychology shows that humans organize identity through internal storytelling. I'm just not good at business. That's an opinion. You may have tried some things that didn't work. You may have had some circumstances that stacked up against you. Your timing might have been wrong. There's lots of reasons why things don't work, but that's a story you're telling yourself. It's not a fact. Simply because things haven't gone the way you wanted them to go in the past doesn't mean they couldn't go that way in the future. What if, let's just pick some magnates, M-A-G-N-A-T-E-S, magnates who had failures, and what if they would have quit before their big success? Milton Hershey was one. Henry Ford was one. Walt Disney was one. Elon Musk had failed companies before PayPal hit. So those are just stories that we tell ourselves. What if they had listened to those stories and quit or given up? Look at the impact it would have had on their lives. So the action step for you here is to notice your own default self-story. We see a lot of people that love to be victims. I want to be a victim. Oh, it's the man, it's society, it's my skin color, it's my gender, it's my economic status, it's my family, it's blah, 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 blah. Look, those things are what they are. You can't control them, so we're not going to worry about them because it doesn't help us. We're going to stop telling ourselves that story that because of circumstance X, Y, or Z, we're helpless and powerless to change our status in life because it's just not true. But the first thing we got to do is recognize the default story we tell ourselves and start counteracting that. So, point number two relates to this. Past events do not define you. The meaning you assign to those past events are what define you. You know, there's like lots of movies that show someone, if this one thing had just gone different in my life, and then the magic happens, the time travel happens, and they see that the life that would have happened if that one event had gone the way they wanted it to go isn't all it's cracked up to be. So I don't really like those movies because if you think that one single thing in your life can be the thing that holds you back forever, I think you're a pretty weak-minded person to begin with. We got to get past that. Cognitive reframing research shows that reinterpretation changes emotional impact, meaning if we change how we think about something, it has a different impact on us going forward. An example of this is failure as evidence of incompetence versus evidence of learning. I can tell you, I went through college on a baseball scholarship. I talk a lot about it on this channel because it really helped form the life that I have right now. All the things I learned from competing in and participating in that sport at pretty high levels. And I failed a lot in baseball. I gave up hundreds of home runs and I was a really good pitcher. I struck out hundreds of times and I was a really good hitter. You're going to fail in life. What you have to do is learn from that, accept it as feedback that your efforts or your actions did not yield the outcome you wanted. So the next time you're in that situation, you have to take different actions. It's really straightforward, but you have to think about it differently. You have to think about the outcome you got that you didn't want as feedback, not as failure. And so that's your action step here. You're going to rewrite one past event one past outcome that you got with a new lesson-based meaning. What can I or should I learn from that outcome that I got, instead of I'm a failure, never try again. Tell yourself a different story. You can get a different outcome down the road. We're going to disassociate our identity from that particular or those particular outcomes. Point number 3, identity drives behavior. Again, storytelling in our mind. Identity-based habit research by James Clear, who we talk about a lot on this channel, wrote the book Atomic Habits, which we love, shows that people act in alignment with self-labels. So literally, if you think you're a runner, you're going to act like a runner. If you think you're a writer, you're going to act like a writer. If you think you're an accountant, you're going to act like an accountant. I'm a disciplined person creates disciplined behavior. I'm weak and soft is going to make you act weak and soft. Doesn't mean you are. It means you've bought your own bullshit story that you've told yourself. So what your action step on this one here is to choose one identity statement that you use now and change it to something you want to become. I'm the kind of person who blank. What does blank mean? I'm the kind of person who works out 5 days a week. I'm the kind of person who eats healthy food the majority of the time. I'm the kind of person who works at night instead of watching Netflix. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. You're going to tell yourself a different story and work on changing your behavior to align with the story that you're telling yourself. Because remember, identity drives behavior, and we're going to use that to our advantage instead of letting it hold us back like we have been previously. Point number 4, you reinforce your identity through action, and this one's terribly important. You can't just sit on your couch and say, I'm a millionaire, because you ain't going to be a millionaire. Not how it works. But self-perception theory shows behavior shapes self-concept. Let me say that again. Self-perception theory shows behavior shapes self-concept. So one gym session is a vote for yourself that I am someone who goes to the gym. You can do that and change your identity over time if you align your actions with the identity you tell yourself you are or that you want to become. Cast those votes. Every action you take is a vote for your identity. If you're a disciplined person, show discipline. If you're a person that exercises, exercise on a regular basis. If you want to be a better reader, read more often. By telling yourself, I'm a reader, and then aligning your actions with that identity, it's going to help you get to where you want to be. And then point number 5, and this one's super huge for us. We preach it all the time. Radical responsibility breaks old stories. So locus of control research shows that internal control belief processes predict success outcomes instead of the environment or the boogeyman. They, my favorite word is they. They should do something. Who's they? They are people. You're a person. Why don't you do something about it? They should figure out how we could lose weight. They know how you lose weight. You eat less calories than you burn, you exercise. That's how it happens every single time without fail. Could be the Mediterranean diet. Could be the South Beach diet. Could be keto. Could be paleo. Could be carnivore. Could be anything. The whole thing is to cap the calories you consume lower than the calories you burn. You'll lose weight. Period. And you want to exercise because it's good for you physiologically. It's good for your central nervous system. It's good for your cardiovascular system. Good for your pulmonary system. All of your health systems work better when you exercise regularly. And that radical responsibility, I have control over this and I'm going to take it. I'm not going to let someone else stop me or tell me or wait for someone to save me because they are not coming. And when things don't go right, own it. You take responsibility for it. Don't blame someone. Don't blame circumstances. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently to get the outcome that I wanted? Owning mistakes ends that victim narrative. And if you want to be a successful person, you got to get rid of that victim narrative. It does not help. Poor me, poor me, poor me. My question to that is always, what are you doing about it? What are you doing to change your outcome? What are you doing to impact your future? What are you doing to take control of your life? What are you doing? Because you have control over a lot more than you want to admit. Because if you have control, then you become responsible for the outcomes. That scares a lot of people, but that's actually where you want to be as a person. You want to be in charge and in control of your outcomes and own your shit. Replace this happened to me with what will I do next? What can I do to impact this? That's where we want to be as people. So let's keep that in mind, right? Our past is just a chapter. We have outcomes that we can learn from. It's not the title. It's not the whole story. We determine what's going to happen in the future. And if we allow the things in the past to hold us back in the future, we're going to keep getting the same result, which is not what we want. We want to make changes. We're going to take radical responsibility. We're going to align our actions with the identity we tell ourselves we want. And we're going to change our lives by doing that. Pick up the pen, write your own story. Don't let someone else write it for you. Okay, that's the episode for today, guys. James puts it up over here every day. Head over to our website, saltygingertalk.com. All of our podcast episodes are available there. Links to our social media accounts are available there. We publish a newsletter every weekday. You can subscribe to on our website, and make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to our podcast, whatever platform you consume it on. We have episodes like this that explain how things work and give you scientific data to back those statements up, give you action steps to start impacting and changing your life right now. We interview awesome people who share their experiences, what they learned, how they use those learnings to build a life that they are really happy with now, despite hardships and setbacks and problems. In fact, because of hardships and setbacks and problems. It's all good stuff. It's super useful to you. You don't miss any of it. So make sure you catch our next episode. We'll see you there.